Whether you are planning on using the Wildcard or Limitless Chip, or you just want to know the best transfers to make for Matchday 2, we've got you covered today. Welcome to FPL Mate, my name is Dan and it's time to talk about Euro Fantasy Matchday 2. Okay, so what we've got for you today is basically a wildcard video for Matchday 2. But towards the end of the video, we are going to also show a limitless draft of how you can use additional money, since in Limitless, you have unlimited money to upgrade your team. Now, I really would think about wildcarding this week if you are unhappy with your team. Maybe you didn't get too many points in Matchday 1 so far. And also, if you have a lot of maybe Netherlands players who play against France, maybe you've got a lot of Italy or Spain players, they play against each other, so not such a favourable fixture for them. If you just want to freshen up your team, then this video is definitely going to help you out. So if you do enjoy this one, make sure you do drop a like. Do subscribe if you're new around here as well, as we continue to take you through Euro Fantasy 2024, which has been so far so good. Right, let's get started in goal. And Rajkovic is going to be our first player on the team sheet. Now, he cost just 4 million. He was the starting Serbian goalkeeper versus England, and he made a decent save, actually, against Kane. I thought he had a pretty decent game in general against England, and at 4 million, I think that's a real nice bargain. Now, 4 million is an unreal price, and what we actually see for Serbia against Slovenia is they've got a 39% clean sheet odds. That's the fourth best for Matchday 2, only behind Croatia, Germany and Belgium, who have slightly better clean sheet odds there. So in general, what we see here is a real nice bargain pick to start off the team and a cheap goalkeeper to put in first, and maybe we can switch them to the backup goalkeeper on the bench later on in the matchday. Of course, you guys hopefully know about the substitution rules in Euro Fantasy. Our defensive line starts off with Josko Gvardiol, who it has a 52% clean sheet odds. That is the best. Croatia have the best clean sheet odds of any team for Matchday 2, going up against Albania, which is going to be very interesting. First game of Matchday 2 also. Gvardiol plays as an attacking left back. We've seen what he has done previously, and it was good to get the vote of confidence that he is going to play as a left back from that opening fixture, which is going to allow him to use his attacking ability a little bit more in this game. Albania, yes, of course, they did score in that opening fixture against Italy, but quite fortunate, a gift of a goal from that throw-in from for Albania to capitalise very, very early in that game indeed. So I think in this second game might not be the same situation. I definitely would be looking to punt on some Croatia defenders or goalkeepers for this match day as we look at their fabulous clean sheet odds. They are better than a 50% chance. It's always really, really nice when we're looking for fantasy points. So let's keep an eye out on Croatia. They're going to be the first kickoff, so we're going to get early team news on how they're going to be lining up. Maybe we can find some bargains there as well as we approach the deadline. Of course, guys, we will be streaming in the hours leading up to the next deadline for Matchday 2. So hopefully you guys will join me there and we'll make some last-minute decisions pertaining to Croatia. We've also got middle stat here. Four ball recoveries in the opening fixture. Really unlucky to concede against Scotland in Matchday 1. That was a kind of a bit of a freak own goal there from Rudiger. Really, really unlucky. Not really Rudiger's fault. Not really anyone's fault. Just one of those things. And actually, Germany was really defensively solid in that game, which is why they have a 43% clean sheet odds in Matchday 2 against Hungary. That is the second best for Matchday 2. So, I think he's a good pick. Very attacking as well. Was creative, taking shots on as well in that game. Could have actually been on for a haul there. At 4 million, he is still unrivaled for the best bargain pick in Euro Fantasy. We've got a Kanji here as well. He's a player we spoke about a little bit prior to the tournament as a absolute ball recovery machine. A ball recovery beast. That is what he has been in qualifying. He was #1 for ball recoveries, and we saw that again in Matchday 1. 11 ball recoveries in Matchday 1. That is insane. Really, really impressive stuff. So almost got 4 points just for ball recoveries alone. Amazing. So he's got 35% clean sheet odds as well going into this game against Scotland, which I think is nice. Obviously, Scotland maybe found themselves outmatched in Matchday 1. Can Switzerland capitalise in the same way? Well, we think that they might be able to. So, yeah, we could also go for a Fabian Schär or a Vidma. Both of these players are 4.5 million. They're not going to do quite as well for ball recoveries, but I think maybe maybe Cher and Vidma have a little bit more attacking threat. Vidma, the best attacking threat for those Swiss defenders, playing an advanced as a right winger, really, right midfielder, right winger kind of role, despite being listed as a defender. But Vidma a little riskier for those minutes. So we've gone with a Kanji here for those ball recoveries. Really nice stuff. Mark Gahey, another ball recovery machine in matchday 1. 8 ball recoveries he had, and 35% clean sheet odds for England against Denmark. We know England are a defensively solid team, even if they didn't impress all the way through in their opening fixture against Serbia. Defensively, looked pretty good, really, and Gahey, I thought, had a really impressive match. Still really underpriced at 4.5 million and undervalued by a lot of the Euro fantasy community at just 3% selected. Into midfield, we're doubling up on the Germany attack, and the reason for that is because Germany have the second most predicted goals for matchday 2. They're predicted to get 2.4 goals in matchday 2 against Hungary, which is very good indeed. We saw from Musiala, he was man of the match in that first game, player of the match, which was nice. Yeah, really impressive. 3 ball recoveries. Florian Wirtz also 3 ball recoveries in that opening fixture. Wirtz with the goal outside the box as well, an additional point there. And I think Musiala and Wirtz just looked amazing, and you can already see this is going to be a huge tournament for both of these players. How impressive they are, young players making their statement on the big stage of the Euros, and that's going to continue against a pretty favourable fixture against Hungary, who did look defensively weak at times in matchday 1. And I think Germany, with what they showed in matchday 1, will be able to do the business, and it's going to be these 2 players who are the key. Of course, you could also go for Gundogan. I don't hate Gundogan as a pick at 7 million. Of course, he was unlucky not to take the penalty due to him kind of being, well, not injured necessarily, but a little bit sore after he was obviously kind of bashed quite badly, and therefore it was Havertz who took the penalty. But I do think Gundogan will probably take the penalties in the future for Germany. I wouldn't worry about that too much if you are a Gundogan owner. I still think he's a very good pick. Of course, kind of unlucky not to get the assist as well, but Euro Fantasy seems to be quite harsh in the way they are giving assists. It has to be very clear cut whether the player has assisted or not for them to get the points. Now we got Xhaka here, a little bit of a budget pick here at 6 million. He got the player of the match in matchday 1 because he was dominating the game. And I think that's what we are going to see. Sometimes it's going to be players who score a lot of goals or get a lot of assists, but other times it's going to be players who run the game. And Granit Xhaka is that star for Switzerland. And we know that this fixture against Scotland fans, once again, this is a favourable one for Switzerland, who I thought played reasonably well against Hungary. So is Xhaka going to be able to dominate the game again? He's going to be on set pieces certainly, and penalties, as long as Shaqiri is not playing. Of course, if you think Shaqiri might get a start in the second match, then that's definitely something to consider. He's 6.5 million, but carries a lot of risk. There's also Abisha, who is a 5 million midfielder for Switzerland. He got a goal and an assist in the opening fixture. A little bit of a surprise package there. Usually Abisha is more of a kind of a defensive midfielder, but he was actually playing on as a left midfielder, which was allowing him to get more involved in the games, far more than expected, because typically he's not really a player who scores goals or gets assists, and yet he did both in matchday 1. But I think I would prefer to go for Xhaka if you can afford it. Shaqiri, really risky. Probably wouldn't go there at this point if you have the pick of the bunch. And Bruno Fernandes is going to be the final pick in this midfield. Portugal expected to score the most goals in matchday 2 actually against Turkey, so that's going to be quite interesting. 2.5 predicted goals for Portugal in matchday 2, so that's definitely going to be a situation where Fernandes is involved in those. Mbappe is of course in this team. Netherlands are disappointing with no clean sheet in the opening fixture, and I think France are just going to punish them again. I think we're not going to see a clean sheet in matchday 2 for the Netherlands either. So Mbappe definitely going to be the star of the show, hopefully at better fitness levels by the time we get to the 21st of June as well. Obviously he is carrying a little bit of a knock at the moment, but hopefully he will be better and continue to be what we expect, which is the star really of this entire Euro tournament. So not too much discussion needed there. And Cristiano Ronaldo would be my other forward option here. Kane, I guess, is the alternative here, but Kane a little bit disappointing for England. Denmark, I think, are a little bit of a tougher opposition here, and we spoke about Portugal and their likeliness to score a lot of goals in matchday 2. They're the kind of the best opportunity to get goals in matchday 2 is the Portugal team. So having that Ronaldo and Fernandes combination could be really useful indeed. Of course, Ronaldo, a penalty taker, a free kick taker, and a very direct forward attacking player. On the bench, yes, we've got another 4 million goalkeeper, 38% clean sheet odds for the Czech Republic against Georgia. That's the 5th best in Matchday 2. So yeah, the fact that you can get Stanek and Rajkovic for a combined price of 8 million is just amazing and a real great way to save some money, allowing you to spend more on the outfield players. I think in general, goalkeepers and defenders have been a little bit disappointing. There has been some sparks of joy, like Mark Gahey, for example, but generally speaking, I don't think I'd want to spend too much money in defense and focus more of the budget in midfield and attack. We've got Lukaku as our third forward, who playing on the 22nd, we probably expect to substitute Lukaku on for whoever performs the weakest out of the first 11 you see on screen here, which is most likely going to be a defender if Matchday 1 is anything to go by. Lukaku obviously is an absolute beast for Belgium. We've also got Trossard to double up on that Belgium attack against Romania. Of course, Romania did keep a clean sheet in Matchday 1, but I would expect going into Matchday 2, they may be outclassed by Belgium. We did see at times Ukraine did have a lot of chances to score against Romania, just didn't quite have the quality to finish the job there. So I think a team like Belgium might do a little bit more damage, and that's why we're going for the likes of Lukaku and Trossard. And of course, Woutface at 4 million, nailed on Belgium centre-back at this very, very cheap price with decent clean sheet odds, 41%. That is the 3rd best available after Croatia and Germany. We have actually seen Belgium with the 3rd best clean sheet odds, 41%. So that's pretty decent there. And yeah, that completes the team. Let's have a look at some captains. So what's interesting in Matchday 2 is actually it's only spans the course of 4 days. So unlike in Matchday 1 where we had 5 opportunities for captains, in Matchday 2 only have the opportunity for 4 matchday captains, so we've got to be a little bit more careful, I would say. Our first captain, I think, is going to be Musiala. I definitely think Mittelstadt, if you want to go risky, is definitely worth looking at. But Musiala or Wirtz, very good opportunities for attacking returns here against Hungary as well. I wouldn't completely write off the Hungary attack. Players like Szoboszlai are always going to have the ability to change games. For the second day, Mark Gahey is actually our only player playing on the 20th in this starting 11 here. We've got Rajkovic as well, but we're probably not going to captain a goalkeeper. But yeah, Gahey, you would maybe go for him because of clean sheet potential plus ball recovery potential. But honestly, looking through this, unless you're going to go for another England player, or I don't really see where else you can go for captains in Matchday 2 on the 20th. You do have Spain and Italy playing on that day as well. But I don't know, I probably wouldn't pick any Italy or Spain players. I think that game will probably be quite low scoring, probably like a 1-1, 2-1 either way. Maybe even a 1-0 either way. So it's a little bit more difficult to predict, where I think some of these other teams much more easy to predict. So really, we are going to be relying on our day 3 and day 4 captains, and that's going to be Mbappe and Ronaldo, who are going to be obviously 2 stars of the tournament and probably stars of the match day as well. So expect big things from both of these guys, and I think they're both really nice and safe captains if Musiala and Gahey don't work out. Now, in general, because we have slightly less opportunities to change our captain, I would be looking to get 10 points before I would consider switching. If you get 10 points or more from Musiala, Gahey, Mbappe, you know, at that point, you stick on what you've got because we have less opportunities this week. So, yeah, definitely would give that advice to you guys. Hopefully, Musiala and Gahey could get something nice out the block. But if not, Mbappe, I think he's probably good for a 10-pointer. If he's able to score, maybe get a Player of the Match award there as well. Although, don't write off Ronaldo as a final day captain. I think he actually could be the best captain for match days 2. It's just a shame he's playing all the way in day 4, but it's going to give you some opportunity there. But anyway, guys, that is the wildcard team with the limited budget of 100 million. This team costs exactly 100 million, but I think we need to talk about the Limitless Chip because some of you guys are going to be on the Limitless Chip as well. So this is the Limitless version of the team, so it's slightly different. We've made some upgrades some places, and guys, in general, if you're not using the chip, I would also say any place we speak about today definitely would be on my list of players I'm looking to pick up and buy for Matchday 2, even if I'm not using any chips. I want to buy some of these players that we're talking about. So let's go through some of the changes I've made. So first of all, the forwards are exactly the same. Lukaku, Mbappe, Ronaldo are the 3 best forwards for Matchday 2, in my opinion. So not going to be any changes there. However, we have made an upgrade from Xhaka to Bellingham. If you've got unlimited money, you may as well spend it on the best players in the tournament. Even though Denmark is not the most amazing fixture, Bellingham is the most amazing player. Well, maybe not the very most amazing player, but we've seen by this point, certainly from matchday 1 with the goal, with the player of the match award, that he really is him. And if anyone is going to make a difference for this England team, it is going to be him. He is him. So, yeah, definitely a worthwhile upgrade on Xhaka there if you have unlimited budget. We've also gone for Rudiger instead of Mittelstadt. Rudiger a little bit more safe. I know people will be put off by Rudiger, given that he did score the own goal. But, again, I don't think that's his fault. I think it was a bit of a freak, and I don't think it's going to happen every single match day. And he actually got 6 ball recoveries during that game as well. So he was able to claw back some points despite scoring an own goal. So he's going to be really good for that. Rudiger actually does have a decent amount of attacking threat as well. You saw his finish at one end of the pitch. He could definitely do that on the other end of the pitch as well from those set pieces. If Germany were to get any set pieces against Hungary, Rudiger is going to be available for a little bit better attacking. Stones as well, another player with decent aerial threat compared to Gehi. Doesn't really have as much aerial threat, so Stones, better attacking threat there, and he's going to kind of move up into kind of the midfield areas as well, maybe spraying the odd pass. You never know. That's definitely the kind of positions that he does occupy on the pitch. In goal, we've actually made 2 goalkeeper switches. Instead of the 4 million goalkeepers, we've upgraded to 2 goalkeepers who you probably wouldn't go for unless you did have unlimited budget. So Livakovic at 5 million is probably a little bit too expensive, generally speaking. But as we mentioned earlier, Croatia have really good chance, really good opportunity for a clean sheet. So that's going to be a very, very interesting one there. 52% clean sheet odds, best for matchday 2, as we mentioned. So we're doubling up on the Croatian defense. And really, for these 2 goalkeepers, I've just picked the 2 guys with the best clean sheet odds, outside of Germany, of course, because we're already tripled up on Germany, and we want to go for that German attack, really. So Castiles as well, 41% clean sheet odds, as we know that's the 3rd best, and we have removed face. So basically, we've replaced the Belgium defender with a Belgium goalkeeper, so we still maintain that triple up. And we've got Cancelo instead, who should possess some attacking threat for Portugal. Would like the triple up on Portugal. I know their clean sheet chances are probably not as high as some other teams. I have it down as 34% clean sheet odds, so a 1 in 3 chance of getting a clean sheet from Portugal against Turkey. But we've got Cancelo really here for his attacking ability. During qualifying, certainly he was an absolute attacking beast, scoring goals and being really involved in the Portugal attack. So that could be a nice opportunity there to take advantage of the high chance of Portugal scoring goals in this match day as well. Captain changes as only slight. We've just moved the day 2 captain's armband from Gehi / Stones to a Bellingham. May as well go for an attacker here. And yeah, that pretty much concludes the team. Of course, you are using the Limitless Chip in match day 2. I don't really know what you're going to be doing with your wild card. I would personally prefer to play the wild card in match day 2 and then the Limitless in match day 3, if those are the strategies you're going to be going for. Alternatively, you could just forego any chips in match day 2 and use Limitless in match day 3. But certainly like Limitless in match day 3 more, and that's why I'm not sure I would recommend the strategy for using this team for match day 2, because I'm not sure it is actually enough of an upgrade of the wildcard team to make it worthwhile. Where in match day 3, I think there's a lot of big opportunities for some of the big players to really go all in on, the likes of the England attack, to go crazy on France and Portugal as well, and really go hard on those teams. So we're going to talk about that when match day 3 comes along, but I would recommend saving your Limitless Chip if possible, and I would prefer the wildcard team. But of course, it's going to be up to you, and depending on what you want to do for your team. But let me know what you think about the picks we've spoken about today. I think we've got a lot of really nice opportunities to get some more points in match day 2. And let me know if you think this team is good or bad, and if there's any other players you want to talk about or anything you want to talk about in the comment section, please do leave a comment. I will be replying to as many as possible. I'm replying to pretty much all comments at the moment. So yeah, if you've got any questions, happy to help. But that is going to be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow talking about my team, and then we'll be doing a deadline stream for match day 2 in a couple of days time. That's going to be on Wednesday, so hopefully see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates.